So the second dish we'll be doing today is a Middle Eastern style green pancake. They're sort of like a drop scone, a bit like an American style pancake. We're doing a little stack of those, and we'll make a little harissa and tahini and lime dressing to go with that. So our ingredients today, we've got some melted butter, we've got some chopped spring onions, we've got some wilted spinach which has been squeezed of all the water, some milk, some eggs, a bit of chili, ground cumin, fennel, ground coriander, cumin, fennel, salt and pepper, and then for the dressing we've got some harissa and some tahini and a little bit of lime. The other thing is that we've got here is 1 egg white that's been separated. So we'll start first by mixing our dry ingredients together. I'm actually going to just chuck a few spices in the pan first to toast. I've got about a teaspoon of cumin seeds, and the same with fennel seeds. You can chuck them in there. Immediately you can smell a lovely toasting. They're not going to take very long, literally about 30 seconds for those probably, just till they start sort of getting a really nice toasty, crispy flavour. So our cumin and fennel seeds have nicely toasted off now, just starting to smoke very slightly, so I'm going to take them off the heat, leave them to one side, and then the first thing we're going to do is mix our dry ingredients together. So I've got about 110 grams of self-raising flour there. I'm going to chuck that in my mixing bowl, put that to one side. Then I've got some baking powder. That's about a tablespoon of baking powder. That's going to give us a nice little lift on our pancakes. I'm going to chuck my toasted spices in there. Mix that all around. I'm going to take 1 egg. In fact, I'm going to do first a little bit of salt and pepper, still with the dry ingredients. A bit of salt and pepper. And a bit of my ground coriander. About a teaspoon of that as well. Give that a good mix with your hand in there, make sure that all the flavours are combined. Take 1 egg, crack that in there. I've got about 150 ml of milk, which I'm going to chuck in. And then I'm going to whisk that all into a smooth batter. There we go, doesn't take very long. Okay, and once you've got that into a smooth batter, melted butter in there, we'll add that in. There we go. I'm going to add my other ingredients in there, which I've got some spring onions there. There's about 6 spring onions chopped up finely in there. A little bit of chili, probably going to put about a teaspoon of chili in there. And then I've got about 200 grams of wilted spinach that I've squeezed the water out of, which I'm just going to chop up roughly. And then I'm going to add that to my mix. So the spring onions go in there. My spinach goes in there. And a little bit of the chili. So give that another little mix around. And you can see the base for our pancakes. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add in just before we get our pancakes in the pan is a little egg white. 1 egg white that's been separated, and I've just given it a little whisk to get some air into it, and I'm going to add it to our mixture there. And then I'm going to fold it in to our mix. the heat. This is the same pan that I've toasted off, dry toasted my whole spices in. Gonna get a good amount of oil in there. Let that heat up a little bit. And then when that oil's hot enough, it should be about a minute or so, we're literally gonna drop a little bit of the batter in there, do a couple, and then that's it. That's really all there is to it. Our oil's nice and hot now, and what we're literally gonna do is just drop a spoonful of our mixture. Doesn't have to be too neat and tidy. I'm going to do another one there into the pan, and then that'll start to seal on the bottom. You can do it on a sort of medium heat, and it's kind of, you can see the air bubbles kind of nice and puffing up in there a little bit. And once they're nice and golden brown, sort of golden greeny brown in these green pancakes, we'll be able to turn them over, and they should pretty quickly be firm enough to be able to turn them over. So just quite, there we go, beautiful. So we're getting a nice lovely golden green colour on those. I'll do the other one. Marvellous. And absolutely very quick to do, extremely tasty. Pretty healthy too, I'd say. To go with this, we've got the simplest, easiest dressing. Sticking with our sort of Middle Eastern theme, we're going to chuck a couple of tablespoons, or about a tablespoon of tahini in there. Probably about a teaspoon of harissa. Good squeeze of lime. A little bit of salt and pepper. And just some water. And we'll give that a nice sort of stir around. That's going to give us a lovely, spicy, slightly nutty dressing, which I'll come back to in a second after I've dealt with these. Wow. They're looking almost edible now. Give that a little stir around. And that's it. Simple. So we have it, Middle Eastern green drop scones with a harissa and lime tahini dressing.